Welcome to the Tugcast with a splash of bourbon presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service has 3 convenient locations to serve you. 3 Depot Street, Bryson City, 530 West Main Street, Silva, and our newest location at 110 Depot Street, Waynesville, North Carolina. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service is your #1 stop prior and after your epic fly fishing adventure in western North Carolina. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service proudly carries industry-leading brands such as Sims, Orvis, Corkers, Sage, Rio, Scientific Anglers, Hatch, Nautilus, Lamson, Fish Pond, Scott Fly Rods, Echo, Umpqua, Hairline, Nature Spirit, Peak, Zipperfly, Norvice, plus a large selection of flies and streamers. Check out www.tuckflyshop.com for streamflow information, book a lesson or guided trip, or even shop for your favorite Tuckasegee Fly Shop gear. Follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and on YouTube at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. Here in our Silva shop today, we have Bobby, their bearded wonder Bennett, and I'm your host, Shannon, Big Mess Messer.
And maybe Dale.
If
he ever gets here.
And the last 2 times I've read this, man, I'm all over the place.
You did a great job.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, man.
At some point, we'll record a new one.
I will, but it's, well, you know, we are who we are, and I think people appreciate that. So there we go.
That's it, man.
Absolutely. But, yeah, you know, stream flows, that's certainly important. Question we're getting asked quite a bit. It's that time of year, of course. And so be sure to hit tuckflyshop.com for that information. And a lot of you folks, actually, and we appreciate it, have been buying some of our logo gear online, too. You know, hat sales, T-shirts. We appreciate that.
All that fun stuff.
I think it's flyshopusa.com.
Flyshopusa.com.
I don't want to say, like, man after the end of it. That sounds like one of those things on TV. Man.
So, man, it was a good weekend.
It was a great
The Norvice
weekend.
demo day.
Yes.
Went well. Tim and the group. That was fun, man.
And speaking of that, did the new product unveil?
Yeah.
With the tool.
Which I meant to bring the
tool caddy.
Bring them to here.
And we have a few of those.
We do.
Correct?
I think we got every color.
Okay. So, with that being said, I do believe that most of them are sold out on the Norvice site.
Yeah.
We got you hook up.
Yep.
So, contact us. We have a very hard to get
Yeah,
item.
they're not on the online store yet, so maybe this week they'll make it on there. But if not, you can call us.
Just call us at the shop, 828-488.
What do those things retail?
3333.
The black one is like a.
Please don't ask me.
100, and I think the anodized color ones are like 115.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
They're both a little over 100.
Yeah, something like that.
I've got the Liberty Blue, which matches my setup. And the neat thing about this particular product is you can put it on either one of your posts. You can put it on the post where you've got your what we call our vise, but your hubs, or you can go on your on your bobbin post over there. So you have the ability to be flexible of where you place it. It swivels. So you could actually get 2 if you wanted to and have one on each side.
I hadn't even thought about that, putting one on each side.
You could put one on each side. I have been using it for the tray for hooks and things like that. And there's things I want close to my hands I have right there, such as scissors, whip finisher, bodkin, just those basic tools for me for my particular layout. Great addition to the Norvice family for sure. Does have that that lifetime warranty guarantee from Tim at Norvice, so you have that backing for sure. It's solid, man. It's solid. It ain't light.
No, I mean it's a solid.
It's solid
chunk of aluminum.
It's solid.
I mean,
yeah, it's not going to go nowhere. Attaches easily to the post. Position it where you'd like to. So definitely. Yeah,
and I think he said he was going to start the way this attaches to the post, the clamp feature. He's going to make that for the light also.
That is correct.
So those will probably be. I don't think he has those quite yet for sale, but at some point that'll be coming, and it's a better design than what the light post had before. So the light attachment had before.
Yep.
And it'll match. So if you decide to go with an anodized color, you can get blue and orange and all those colors, all those crazy colors, shamrock green. That's the only one I can ever remember, the actual Liberty Blue and Shamrock Green.
That's right.
So Radical Red. That's the other one. See? I'm
Radical Red.
It's coming into my head, Shannon. Listening to you say it so many times.
Black.
And what's the orange? What's Sunset?
Sunset orange.
Sunset or Sunrise? Sunset orange.
No, it's Sunset.
Yeah.
Thank you to the folks who came to the event.
Yeah, no, it was great to see tons of folks, man.
Gentleman from Blue Ridge, Georgia came up, and a neat thing talking to him is he actually had probably like a 70s model Norvice.
Yeah.
or so. That
You said it was like the first one.
Like
of the first
he's
ones.
still using today. He just picked up a few things, and he wanted to come and do that. But also, thanks to the folks who made the decision to jump into a Norvise fly tying system. We greatly appreciate that. And it was a really, really good event there in Waynesville. Waynesville was busy that day with the Apple Festival and stuff. So really thank you folks who made it by the shop.
Yeah, it was fun. And if next year, if you want anything apples, come to the Apple Festival. Apple cider, turnovers, candy apples, just plain apples.
Popcorn.
I'm sure there was a ton of other apple stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there was.
But, yeah, so if you want anything apples, I bet there's apple ice cream. Who knows?
Because we couldn't go there.
We didn't go up there.
We couldn't go there.
I was going to walk up there, and then I was like, man, there's no way I can leave this shop.
Yeah.
There's too many people.
Yeah.
So, never got to go up and venture to see it.
Sure. It was a great, beautiful weekend, too, though.
It was. Another thing to check out in Waynesville, just up the street from us that just opens, the Axe and All, which is a leather works shop. Yeah. And they actually make leather goods. And me and Shannon and Dale went up there and looked at it the other day. Dale bought a new belt. He'll tell everybody about it at some point, I'm sure. Yep. But we give him grief about that.
Georgia Drifter bought a belt, too.
Did he? Yeah. So if you're there in Waynesville coming to see us, just walk up the street, get a cup of coffee at Orchard Coffee, hit up the Axe and All. I don't know their hours off the top of my head, so you may want to look that up. But they got some cool stuff, shaving kits, and they even make some pocketbooks / purses for ladies. They make stuff for firefighters, obviously belts and keychains, and you got some coasters.
I got some coasters
for your flying table.
Nice addition there. It's very classy looking. I've used it. It'll be a great addition when I'm having maybe a little sip of bourbon while spinning out some flies for sure. I'll try to get a picture of that and then get it on the Instagram there or something like that. But neat shop.
Oh, it's very cool. They did a really good job.
And the Georgia Drifter was telling me that he's got a buddy that has a leather shop out west. So he said the price for the belt that he paid was
spot on.
Was spot on. Yeah. So
I mean, you're literally buying something that was made in the back of that shop. That's
you can see them working right there.
Yeah, they've got all the leather hanging up everywhere, and so that's kind of cool to know. Like, hey, that was made like 20 feet from where I'm buying it from, which is kind of cool. You know,
the Orchard Coffee though. Did I hear that he's like one of the tops in the?
So he won the World Championship coffee roasting. So I guess it's kind of like the beer thing. He won it 3 years. He's won it 3 times.
Wow.
The World Championship coffee roasting. And then I think it was Food, don't quote me on this, Food and Wine magazine or whatever it is, something like that. I guess they every year do a top 100 places to eat or drink or whatever it is, and he was number 4 on that list I think like 2 years ago.
There you go.
As just a coffee shop with muffins and pastries. And
That's awesome. So just right up the street from us there in Waynesville, you have some excellent choices there. Same here in Silva. There's some things right below us, right down the street from us, and in Bryson City as well. So you come to any of the shops, you have access to some really good coffee and things like that for sure.
Dale just texted. He's on his way.
Okay. Well, perfect. Thank you to the folks who commented about the guide vehicle or whatever topic we got on last week.
Yeah, that was kind of just a ramble, but it was fun.
It was. I certainly enjoyed it. Shout out to Harrison, who I think his vehicle would be a Jeep Gladiator.
That's right. He called and told us. He said
Jeep Gladiator.
The Jeep Gladiator is the way to go.
Yeah, the way to go. Jeep
Which
Gladiator.
Those are fairly new. They haven't been out too long. So.
Yeah, I talked to some others that said that they were old school Jeep.
Yeah.
Kind of puts us in that kind of that Wagoneer that I talked about, the Grand Wagoneer back in the 70s. It weighed like 6,000 pounds.
Them things might have weighed more than that.
Quad to drive, man. They were beasts. Beast of a vehicle. No fuel economy, but you didn't buy anything for fuel economy. But I thought it was a great subject for sure.
It was fun to talk about.
I had to get off it, but it's important, right? Got to get to where you're going.
Hey, for everything, you got to get to where you're going. Whether it's your 2 feet or your car, you got to get there. So or horse.
Didn't get anything back though on the bikes though.
On the bikes,
I was hoping we get if people were using like the e-bikes.
Oh yeah, I'd love to know.
I'd like to know.
I'm actually, they're expensive. I mean, well, for what they are, they're not expensive. But you're going to lay out probably $1,200 to $1,600 at least for an e-bike. But I'm curious about them because I don't want to give out my idea because then everybody else will do it, and I don't want that to happen. But I've been trying to talk my wife into getting 2 of them, one for her, one for me, and doing some fun stuff around here. But there's certain things. Again, I don't want everybody to do it, so I want to be the pioneer of it.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Anyway, so if anybody's got any experience with those, let me know.
Yep, absolutely. Great weekend of football.
Yeah.
I'm going to brag while I can because it's going to go downhill. I'm 5-1, baby.
Them Cowboys tried to give it away.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
You
They had
can't
like 100
fumble the ball going across the
yards.
goal lines. I mean,
Yeah.
it was some things, man. But my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, their offense, it seems like when they need to score, they can put it in the end zone.
I feel like, and maybe it's just the times, I feel like there's just like no defense anymore.
No, but this is like, I think, the worst game that they played defensively.
I mean,
honestly.
But everybody, it's just like you get into a 2-minute offense and you just move the ball.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why don't you just do that all game?
Yeah. But Romo called it. When they called that stinking timeout, they was going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's what they scored the game-winning touchdown on. Was that same exact play, man, that same formation.
Well, it was good to see it happen on your birthday.
It was, man. It was a great birthday.
I didn't like seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened on your birthday.
Yeah, no, the Braves are, they're up 2-0 in their division in the National League Championship Series. And so if you're a Cowboys and the Braves fans, things are good. And if you're a Cardinals fan, that being Arizona, you're doing well too. If you're a Jaguars fan, you hit the W column, baby. The streak is over.
Oh,
hate to be a Dolphins fan because you lost to the the team that hadn't won in 20 games. So, yeah, interesting for sure. Great weekend of sports, great weekend of fishing, and a great weekend of seeing a lot of folks at the shop.
That's it, man. Well, so our topic today, we're going to get back into some packs.
Yep.
Because we've never finished this, and obviously, we talk about it. Our lives get in the way, so we were off for almost a month, I guess, and other topics that are pressing because it's that time of year or whatever it may be we talk about. So we're getting back to packs and talking about them. Obviously, we're featuring packs that are existing right now on the market, and this is one of those things that every year we could touch on because new stuff comes out, new features, whatever it may be. But so we talk about them, and the other thing we're going through this, so go back and listen to any of the other ones because we've done hip packs and
chest packs.
So that way you can go back, and it's not just about the current pack. It's also about the difference in what entails wearing a chest pack or a hip pack. Like, what are the positives, pros and cons, I guess would be the way to put it. Same thing with the sling pack. So that's kind of what we're going to go through today. So we got a couple things, 2 or 3 things from Fish Pond, and I guess 2 or 3 things from Orvis. We'll just go through and kind of touch on them. And Dale, when he gets here, he can pull up all the specs, but until he gets here, I'm going to be the spec guy. So I'm doing 2 things at once. So forgive me if it takes me a little while.
So perfect.
But do you want to start with any specific one?
Yeah, I didn't know if you kind of had an outline there.
I've got a couple in orders. I've got the Flathead
All right,
Sling.
so let's start with that one then. So if you've got
Sling.
this.
I'm going to pull it up.
So the Flathead Sling came out about 2 years ago. It's really a niche sling. And the neat thing about this particular sling is it almost feels like a satchel, but it's ambidextrous. You can flip it to where it's a right hand and it's a left hand, but they thought it out very well because it's super easy to switch.
Yes,
where
it is.
the first ones that came out, not from Fish Pond, but another manufacturer, was a pain in the old rumpus.
Yeah, it took forever to figure it out, and then it wasn't easy.
Yes. So this one here, you're not having to, move zippers and stuff like this. It's thought out quite nicely. For the folks that are left-handed, they've really liked this particular pack because it seems to work for them. Have the same quality build construction that you expect from all the Fish Pond products. Also has your net slot on it as well.
It's got net slot for both sides.
It does.
Because it's ambidextrous.
It sure does. It does have
You know what I like about the net slot on that one is that it's like that molded,
yes,
whatever you call it. It's a little structured, so it's easier to get the net in.
It is.
It's easier to find that.
It is.
That slot. So
and maybe that's something that they'll consider when they redo the Summit Sling.
Summit Sling, which we'll talk about next.
But you take some of those pros from it and you build upon those particular things. But for an ambidextrous sling, someone who wants something that's ambidextrous, I think this is the best one out there.
Yeah,
there's not a lot,
size,
but this one is. It's a good size. It's got some nice features to it.
While we're
absolutely.
Talking about it. So I'll go through the specs real fast. It's called the Flathead Sling. It comes from Fish Pond. Retails at $149.95. The specs on it are 1.7 pounds, 14 inches by 5 inches by 10.5 inches. 10 liters is how big it is as far as like a size on the inside. And it's ambidextrous. The features, the ambidextrous design, easy adjust shoulder strap buckle, crossbody stabilizing strap, which most of these all have, large clamshell opening and quick access magnetic front pocket, which has become kind of a cool thing. Who were the first ones that did that? What's the name of that company?
That was Curtis and Joseph.
Yeah.
But this one, I got to tell them, man, this one actually is pretty sweet.
Yes, it is. Where was I at?
Magnetic.
Yeah, 2 included dividers to keep your pack organized. Hypalon tool attachment points. All fish pond packs have those. 2 large water bottle pockets. So this is one of those that, if you got, a kid with you, you can carry some water from them or whatever, things like that. So that's something. The molded back panel, which is for the net. We talked about that. And it's got a foam fly patch included with it. So, and that's removable. They Velcro in, Velcro out, those type of things. So a lot of the fish pond packs have those. So that's kind of the quick specs on it. Like I said, I flashed some pictures up here. So if you're listening in your car, go check out YouTube. You can see the pictures of it and everything. Obviously, you can go to our online store, or maybe even Fish Pond, and check it out.
Yep.
So.
And the one thing about all the fish pond ones is that the patches are replaceable.
They are, yeah. You can get those patches. Almost all their stuff. You can get straps. You can get a lot of their little things that wear out, on the pack. So it's kind of one of those things.
Yep,
nice to have.
Sure is.
So the next one on my list is the Summit Sling.
Yep.
Which at least in our shops, this is by far the number 1 selling sling. I bet nationwide it's the number 1 selling sling.
Yep, probably so.
I would imagine this thing sells like crazy. So if you're looking for the pack that sets you apart from everybody else, this is not the one, but it's, in my opinion, the best sling pack. I've had one for, I don't know, since it came out. It's probably been out 4 or 5 years now. So I still use it.
Longer than that, I think.
Has it been out longer than that, you think? It's been out a while. I know that.
It's one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it, man. I mean, it sells great. The one thing I will say that I don't like about it is the net slot. And maybe they don't want to do the molded in whatever they call it, molded whatever, for the net slot. It might be uncomfortable in this one because it's just a single. Where on that other one, it's like an X, so it kind of, I guess, fits your back better. I don't know,
but they could put some ridges in there, which could let some airflow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah.
But the specs on it comes in at a better price of $99.95, so it's $100. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, for value for pack, it's probably the best. 2 pounds, 13 inches by 8.5 inches by 9 inches. And 549 cubic inches. I don't know what that works out to in liters. You can do the math on that. That's what Google is for. So I didn't do the math on it. Features includes our patented and signature molded drop-down fly cargo bench with outside Velcro for fly foam attachment. So basically, the front of the pack, you unzip it and it folds out, and it's probably like an 8x6 little square area.
It's about like this, and it's got a nice about a 1.5, 2 inch lip on it.
Yeah.
So if you drop a fly, it's not falling into the water.
It just stays right there.
People like that.
I do too.
It's a nice workstation.
It's got all the Hypalon tool attachments, just like all the other ones. Excuse me. The YKK water-resistant zippers. I think the other one had that too. They didn't name that, but the flexible TPE lash tabs for rod tubes. A lot of the fish pond packs have those. I think all of the fish pond packs have those. Integrated net sleeve on the back panel. That's what we were talking about, that maybe they should make it more of a molded feature so it was easier to find it with the net. The shoulder pad workstation, which is nice. On mine, I have nippers on the main pack side, and then I have nippers on the workstation on the front. That way you don't always have to sling your pack around just to change flies, which is nice. And then the Cycle Pond recycled fabric, which all of their packs are in that recycled thing, because Fish Pond's what do they call that company thing? It's like something.
The Certified B Corporation.
There it is, Certified B Corporation. They use a lot of recycled materials, which is good. So by far, I'm going to go ahead. We haven't even got all the other packs. This is my favorite right off the bat. I wear a sling because I like a sling better than all the others, which we can go through that at the end, maybe the pros and cons of slings versus hips versus chest versus vest versus all that. So anything else on that one, William?
No, I think it's got 2 colors.
This is a very technical podcast.
It's got gravel and
oh yeah, it does. This one has 2 colors. It's got gravel and Tortuga. The gravel one, I haven't even flashed the pictures up. I told you I'm doing 2 things at once, so let's do this. So there is the gravel color. So it's kind of that green, grayish kind of color. And here is the back of it. So you can see the net in that picture where it slides through, and you can tell that one's not molded like it was on the Flathead. It's more of just that whatever that material is they call it. They've got a name for it. I'm going to call it canvas, but it's the canvas material. And then here's the Tortuga, and it's kind of that greenish moss kind of color.
Yeah, it's a good. I think that's good.
Yeah. So, you got two choices there. So pick which one you like. They're both good colors for fishing. I don't think they're not hot pink or bright orange or flashy red or anything like that. So it's a good color. I think that's one of the things I like about Fish Pond the most is the colors. Their packs are awesome, like from a standpoint of design, but the colors are cool.
Very tonal.
Yeah. So the next one is the Thunderhead Sling, and this is the only fully waterproof one on the list.
Correct.
So you can talk about it a little bit when I find it here, Shannon.
Yeah. So this is the Thunderhead Sling, waterproof, as Bobby was saying. Now, when you get into a waterproof sling, whether it's the Thunderhead, Orvis has one that's at Safe Passage waterproof, which we don't have on here. You forgo a lot of things on those packs because they're so costly to build with the zippers and things like that.
Yeah, that waterproof zipper is expensive.
So basically, you have a shell that you put your stuff in, and then you'll have some stuff on the exterior, which is basically a water-resistant type zipper. However, if you want it to be waterproof, it's waterproof. You get it zipped all the way up.
Oh, it's a flotation device. That thing.
You kind of talked about that.
I don't want to call it that. Don't use it as a flotation, but it won't let the air out. It's like a little air bubble.
Absolutely, it really is.
You can squeeze it, hug it, all that, and the air stays in it.
It stays in it. So if you really need to protect maybe some camera gear, you're carrying a mirrorless or those type things out there, some electronics. This is something to consider. It's not cheap.
No, it's not.
Not cheap at all. But it could be an insurance policy for some of those electronics that you are carrying. You fish where it rains a lot, or you're going to be in the water that's going to be fairly deep, and potentially the bottom of your pack on your sling is touching the water, and you don't want that to happen. This is the sling. This is the type of pack for you. You have to consider something waterproof. Has the exterior components similar to the other ones, where you can attach a rod tube with the straps on it there as well. The shoulder piece on it, though, I think is a little bit different, if I'm not mistaken on that.
Yeah, it doesn't have as much stuff on it.
Correct.
You can still attach nippers and hemostats and stuff to it, but it's not as. Again, they're trying to help the cost because the zipper function and everything costs so much. So it's like something's got to give, or this pack would be $400, which is way above what anybody wants to pay for just a sling pack. Mm-hmm. But it does come in 3 colors. You have yucca. I'll flash these up on the screen as I'm saying them. Then we have the shale, which is kind of more of the brown color. The yucca is kind of that green mossy color. The shale's more of kind of a brownish tan, I guess would be the best way to describe it for those who can't see it right now. And then they have the Riverbed Camo, which is kind of like looking into water. It's got like that.
Yeah, they did a good job with
When
imitating that.
When you really look at it, it's like, I'm looking at water from top down, like looking at a riverbed. So it's actually a really nice feature to it. It does retail for $229.95, so it is the most expensive on our list today. But again, from what I understand from all manufacturers, this isn't just Fish Pond, all manufacturers that make any type of waterproof bag, that zipper alone is right around just $100, just for the cost of the zipper. So if you took the zipper off and just put a regular zipper on, you'd be in that $130 price point for this thing. So that's where a lot of the cost is at, is in that for sure. It is rather large, 16 inches by 9 inches by 7 inches, which is a 13-liter bag. So it's bigger than the other two that we've talked about, and it weighs about 1.5 pounds. All right, it does include one set of lariat gear straps. So that's for most people use those for carrying a rod tube with them. I don't even know what those retail for by themselves, but it's at least probably $15 or $20, I'd say at least. So you're getting that you don't get with the other packs. You don't get those gear straps. So that's a nice feature just to get something like that. And the cool thing is those gear straps work with other Fish Pond stuff. So if you had the duffel bag from Fish Pond that has the slots you can use them on that. You can use them on the Summit Sling if you had it. So it is something that's interchangeable between other packs. And I bet there's some other packs out there on the market they would work with. It has the fully waterproof T-zip zipper closure, water-resistant zipper closure on the front pocket. So that's one that it's not technically waterproof, and it's like just a little slot. It's like enough to put your wallet in, I guess would be that kind of pocket. It has an integrated net slot, so it has the same thing that the other two have had. Interior organization with one zippered pocket and a clear stash pocket for small gear. So you get just a couple little stash pockets, nothing. Like Shannon said, it's a shell for now. Coated webbing pull tabs for opening the T-zip. It's a very nice zipper mechanism. And then the Velcro and Hypalon attachment points on the shoulder strap. So Again, you can put some nippers and stuff on your shoulder strap, hemostats, things like that. But definitely the most expensive. But again, if you've got camera gear, you're willing to pay for that. There's a reason you do that to protect stuff like that. So if you're a YouTube video person or just somebody that takes photography, well worth the investment to get a waterproof bag, whether it's Fish Pond or some other brand. Definitely think it's a must almost.
I will say this. I've actually sold 2 of those to people who don't fish.
Yeah, just to use. Yeah.
They were in the photography.
Okay.
Down in Bryson City.
Yeah.
And they got it for their camera and lenses.
Okay.
They did.
I can see that. I mean, that's one of the things where not every camera store has something like that.
And that's what they said.
So you start looking at the outdoor industry more to say, hey, what can I carry that's easy? I mean, Fish Pond, this is getting off the spectrum, but I mean, they've got this same type of thing. It's the Thunderhead system. They've got it in duffels. They got it in backpacks. They got it in hip packs. I think we talked about the hip pack. They got the little chest pack, obviously the sling that we're talking about. So you can basically, any type of pack you want, they've got it in this waterproof system, which is nice. So
yep, sure do.
You can get them all matching if you want them all the same color.
Yep,
if you want
sure
to do
can.
that.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to go from Fish Pond and jump into the Orvis. And we've got there's 3 here. We got the sling, the guide sling, and then the mini sling, I believe is what they're all called, right?
That is correct. Yep.
So we're going to start with just the regular old sling.
Yep.
And I'm going to toss a picture up here of it.
So that was redesigned for this year.
Yeah, I guess we saw it for the first time maybe this time last fall, and then it came in the spring.
Yep. So definitely upgraded. I think that the one thing that stands out on these slings is the tippet garage that they're pretty proud of. And I got to give them credit. The functionability of it right there is actually pretty nice on it.
Oh, it's awesome.
I do give them credit for that. So that's kind of their thing right now that they have that the other manufacturers don't have currently. It is stashed out of the way, which is nice. So it's not extending out, protruding out away from you as it could maybe with other type of attachments that you run into there. So good job with that.
So I'll give you some specs on it if everybody's ready. Well, let's see. It retails for $98, so it's in the same price point as the Summit Sling from Fish Pond. It's 100% recycled Eco Cordura.
Yep.
Cordura. That's how you say that.
Cordura.
The Tippet Whippet recessed docking station with tippet bar included. So that's what Shannon was talking about. This one has 11 liters of capacity. Large main body storage pocket with internal features. Small drop-down zippered pocket with internal features. Front strap docking stations. Zinger nipper pass-through, which is kind of cool because it like sucks your nipper in so that it's not getting caught on stuff. Left shoulder design frees up casting arm and shoulder. So this is one that is not ambidextrous, but it's worn on your left shoulder for those people that cast right. Or if you're left-handed, it's like a normal sling. So they kind of change that up on people. It is basically the same pack that we'll go into for the guide sling also. So all these packs are very similar in these. It's just different sizes basically. It does come in 3 colors, I'm sorry. You've got the camo. I forget what the other one's called. It's called...
Is it the green olive color?
You got camouflage. Sand. That's what it's called. Sand.
But it's not really like a sand color.
No, it's more gray.
Yeah.
That's some gray sand, right?
Yeah.
Volcanic sand. That's
it could be volcano sand.
And then the fishware, which is the one that's all like turquoise and orange and
patterned up there.
Yeah, it's all patterned up.
It's all artistic.
Kind of cool. Yeah, it's very artistic.
Artistic
Absolutely.
for sure. Now that one.
Hey, Dale's here.
That one right there does not have a net slot.
It does not. They do not have a net slot in the regular sling. That's right.
Does not have a net slot in that particular one there. And that's where you
chickadee check.
There he is.
So you have
fresh off the water.
So you have to step up to the guide sling, and that's one of the negatives about it. So
yeah, and the guide sling's bigger.
It is bigger.
Like when you see them side by side, you're like, man, that's big.
That's big.
Yeah,
that's the one thing.
I got to get to that page.
Sometimes the guide sling can get you to the point where you're carrying way more than you actually need to be carrying out there.
Yeah, that one was 11 liters. The guide sling, just to give you an idea, is 18 liters. So it's 7 liters more.
Yeah,
7 liters is a good size.
That's 3.5.
We've talked about them 2 liters. And remember when they used to make the 3 liters? We've been there before. We've been down this hole.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. It is big.
And they got banned in New York.
It's big.
But it's a very similar design.
Very similar design. About the biggest difference is the fact that it's just larger, and you got a net slot.
Yeah, and the price. It goes from $98 for the regular sling to $149 for the guide. Yeah. So this is Dale's job. I should make him do this.
Yeah.
No, you're doing great, Bobby. Yeah. I can't lift my arms right now.
So
thank goodness I have the Norvise to make it easy to tie some flies tonight.
So this has all the exact same features as the other one, other than it is bigger and it has the net slot. So I'm going to flash some pictures of it up also so you can kind of just see it. Again, in the pictures, it's kind of hard to tell the difference, really. I think you have to see them in person more or just to get a better idea, but it's definitely a little bigger. Maybe you can tell in the picture there. You can probably tell.
Yeah, it's big.
But same features as the other one. Nothing too big there. I do, if I remember right, I think it does have like a pocket on the strap that the other one doesn't have. It's just a little stash pocket, not much.
Yeah, it unzips.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to that. Anyway.
Yeah.
What you putting in there?
The other company had.
I don't know what you put in there.
Yeah.
I guess like your floatant. That'd be
fish whistle.
You could put your fish whistle or your floatant.
Mm-hmm. Is North Carolina in the minority of that yet? Of states that have legalized that?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. If y'all don't know what a fish whistle is, Google it.
And then they came out with the Mini.
And then they got the Mini.
The Mini Me.
Man, this is worse than buying my Bronco.
Oh, y'all got a plan for today's show. This is great.
This is a Mini Me.
Y'all got
I was like, mini fish whistle? Is that so you don't get the felony?
They got the Mini Me.
So the Mini is basically the same thing with less features, just downside. It's for the minimalist.
Yeah,
really,
definitely more of a kind of a day thing. You know, you just need a few flies and a few things, and you go.
Oh, I should have mentioned in the guide sling, it only comes in the camo and the sand. It doesn't come in the what's this one called? I forget the
Mini.
The color or whatever it's called, but the artistic color, fishy wear. The guide sling only comes in the two colors.
That's
where
correct.
The Mini comes in fish wear and the sand, so you can get those two. It doesn't have camo.
Yeah. Now, with this being said, being a new product, and I think we all agree that the Fish Pond Sling Pack is by far one of the better sellers out there.
Absolutely.
But this new Orvis design here has a lot of folks have actually really gravitated toward that there. So definitely one that we feel confident when you're looking at those sling packs, you definitely should consider.
Yeah.
Compare them right there and see what you like. Some people gravitate to certain type of features over the other.
Yeah, and some people want a smaller pack. It's just easier.
Yeah, and out of the ones we have, they're really the only one that offers a Mini. A small
true.
One.
Yeah, because it comes in at 5 liters, which is over half the size of just the regular sling. Mm-hmm. So 5 liters is not that big, but it's enough to carry what you need for, like you said, a day of fishing and stuff like that. It comes in at $79. I'd say the biggest things that it doesn't have that maybe the guide sling has is it doesn't have the net slot and it doesn't have a water bottle holder. So if a water bottle holder is a must, this may not be it unless you can stuff it down in the pack and fit it. But overall, I mean, it's basically the same pack as the others, just
smaller.
Just the smaller version.
Get you like a water filtration to carry with you, man. And
that's it. Get you your life straw or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what this is kind of targeting, to be honest with you there. So it works out well. Now, we all have opinions about packs and we like certain things. There's certainly pros and cons to having a sling pack. And we hear them. Bobby works out of a sling pack, and I'm not a fan of a sling pack, and I'm not. We definitely want you, if you buy one, certainly buy one from us. But what are some things you like about using about a sling pack? So what is it you like about using a sling pack, Bobby?
What do I like about a sling pack? I think it's that you can carry a lot of stuff and it's on your shoulder. Like if on a hip pack, it gets too heavy. Like it wants to sag too much.
Pull your britches down.
Yeah, it pulls your britches down. You're hold on, I'm trying to get the cameras right. There we go. Dale, you're not on camera. Sorry.
So I wondered if I could connect in the middle, but oh well.
I don't know.
I saw where we're at on the list. I'm like,
So I like that it doesn't get wet unless you get. If it gets wet, you did something wrong. Let's just put it that way. You stepped in the wrong hole on the river. It still gives you like the accessibility of a chest pack without being on your chest. I think we talked about that, like we mentioned. Go back and listen to the other pack reviews we did. It doesn't block your vision because you can throw it behind you. It just slings back around. So it gives you that ability to see your feet, see the rocks from a safety side of things of wading. I like that. I feel like you can hang it in the boat the way I wear it. You can wear it while you're fishing still from the boat, and it doesn't feel like it's in the way.
Like drape it across the seat.
Yeah, you can drape it across the seat, or you can have it on your shoulder. It's just easier to deal with, because when you sit down in the seat, you can sling it to the side and sit down. Where a hip pack, if you pull it to the front, it's going to be awkward with it sitting there.
It's kind of like a European handbag then.
Yeah, that's right, man. It's a satchel. It's a satchel. So I like all those features. I love the net slots. I probably wouldn't personally buy a sling pack without the net slot. That's just me. But not everybody carries a long-handled net. Some people have hand nets, right? So the net slot's not really useful if you have a hand net. You're going to hook it to the back just like you do with every other pack with like a net retractor or something or a magnetic net keep. So those are kind of some of the things I like.
Okay.
I don't have a waterproof one. I told y'all I have the Summit Sling, best sling I think, but you guys may have different opinions. Dale's had a couple different slings.
I think my favorite thing about a sling is not even fishing related. It's the fact that you can dump everything out and take it on a hike.
Oh, I've taken it on the airplane as a carry, or my personal item on the airplane.
Yeah. Okay. So but I turn it into a day pack when family goes hiking, and it's way more comfortable than something strapped across both shoulders.
Yeah, you can throw some snacks and stuff in it. Small first aid.
The number two reason that was number one. Number two reason is you can store reels in there
for a long
years and not even know it. So I've got the old Sims Waypoint sling. It's huge. Well, it's not huge. It's smaller than the Orvis Guide pack because nothing's bigger than the Orvis Guide sling. But Jack was like, "Hey Dale, I'm missing a reel to let you borrow." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I hadn't seen that reel for like 2 years." And I had this, and then one day I'm like cleaning out this pack. There's a Lamson Speedster S3 or whatever it is. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Man, it still works. So yeah, they store a lot is what I'm getting at. So this morning I was getting ready for a trip, and I knew I had a pair of nippers in there somewhere, and I dumped it out, but no nippers to be found. My backup pair.
They're in one of the other.
And then
packs.
my backup pair is on back order until November. So, but anyway, the slings, I love them. It's just there's so many ways to use it. So,
there is, yeah. I like the versatility of it,
and the tool ports that you can put across your chest. And so honestly, I can have that sling pack and never have to actually sling it,
unless chaos happens and you get the bird's nest. Yeah, and that's when you'll.
And to your point about the net sheath, I don't even use the daggone thing. I just put it between my back and the pack.
Yeah.
So I'd be fine if they actually didn't make them.
Yeah.
Because I feel it and I know it's there.
Didn't you lose one on Deep Creek once?
Thank you. Like I said, I know it's there.
There's a fair amount of people who buy these slings and they actually use the magnetic or the other tether like Orvis has for their nets.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them not using the net slots.
No, that's what I said. If you have a hand net, you're just going to attach it like you normally do.
And they've got the tool port for that too.
Yeah, I mean it's totally. That's what I like about it.
And if you're not using the net sheath, then you don't even know it's there.
That's it.
Correct.
Unless you want to carry your samurai sword with you.
Or an umbrella.
Or an umbrella. That's brilliant.
Why don't we see like golfing umbrellas out here?
Get you a big golf umbrella. The guide has to like hold it over like the caddy, like hold the umbrella over the guest that's fishing.
No, cast here. Set. Here, hold the umbrella while I net your fish, sir.
That would be great, man. Hey, that's customer service. If you pulled that out while it was raining, your tip would get a little bigger that day, probably.
Yeah, don't pull it out when it's lightning.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Better watch it, boys.
Oh,
I think if it's lightning, I'm not going to be fishing.
Exactly,
so.
But yeah. Well.
But yeah, that's sling packs. I'd love to hear anybody that's got them comment on it and tell us your experience with them. Give us a call at the shop. Tell us what you love or hate. Because the other thing about any of the products in the shop is we take customers' feedback and our own, and we tell our representatives from these companies about it, and then they pass it along to the people that develop this stuff. So that's the only way. Right. That's the only true way I feel like that stuff gets better is they find out, wow, people don't like this, or this could be better, and this is a great idea. Let's see if we can develop that and make it happen at a reasonable cost. That's the other thing to kind of consider in that. So definitely give us feedback. I think it's super valuable to hear from everybody on it.
Did y'all talk about what Fish Pond is doing for their submersible stuff for next year?
I did not.
They got dividers
for next year.
You know, so the problem with, like, since we're talking about slings, is Fish Pond Thunderhead Sling and any of the submersibles is they're just shells, right?
Yep.
They're just empty inside. No, there's like one pocket that's for like a driver's license max.
I said wallet. It'd fit you.
No, it won't fit your wallet.
McLovin?
Huh?
McLovin's driver's license?
It'd fit my Ridge.
Let's see it.
Do we have one here?
All right. So anyway, they're coming out. We do have one. I thought. I want to see it now.
McLovin's,
I don't know where my wallet
McLovin's
is.
driver's license will fit in it.
I don't know what McLovin's is.
You don't
What are
know
talking
the movie
about?
McLovin's?
No.
Oh, he got it. It's awesome.
So Fish Pond's coming out with these dividers that fit inside their submersible products, all of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. It's well thought out. I just wish they'd go ahead and put them in there and price it up. Like, if it's $239 for the submersible sling, what is it? I don't know. I'm just spitballing there. But if just charge $229, then just charge $239 with the divider in it already.
So with the divider coming out for the product in 2022, will those dividers work in current model?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We asked that question.
Okay.
Yep.
I haven't tested every
We were
one of them
told. Hold on.
personally.
We were told yes.
Okay.
Don't quote us on any of this.
So are you telling me it's going to Velcro in?
I don't know.
Hook and loop attachment?
But
You tell him. You're the one that brought all this up.
the rep said, here, this goes in there. Cool. We'll buy it.
I'm just curious how it's going to work if I'm a current owner.
Yeah.
And I said, does it
You know,
work in the
will
current
this work
packs?
for me?
Yes.
Now, so it'll work in the sling. Backpack?
I got to believe that it's probably going to be, probably going to come with a strip of adhesive of Velcro to go ahead and glue in there where you want it to make it work.
Which we don't know. We're just making
it's
a
kind of like the
hypothesis here.
It's kind of like the Apple Watch 7.
I'm gonna go look.
Not really sure until it comes out what all it does.
Okay.
So that kind of, you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I do, and that's the one beef with those waterproof things that we talked about is it is a shell for most cases.
yeah.
But
Sorry
you're
to
not buying
rehash
it.
that, my
No,
bad.
No,
but-
you're good, man.
no, it's perfect because you're not buying it in a lot of cases for compartmental. Anyway, dividers in it. I can't say that fancy word. You're buying it for the waterproof ability. That's your most important thing is waterproof ability with that. However, now if you have a item that's going to bring a greater value to what you already have, this may become more valuable to someone who doesn't have it, where they see, hey, I can actually start, having my separate compartments, for my boxes or things like that. I need to keep separate. So maybe you keep your boxes here, maybe camera gear in his particular spot. It's easy to get to. You're not, when it slings to your back, everything tends to shift down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And then when you sling it forward, it's all a jumbled mess in some cases in a shell scenario. So that could be a great addition to the family.
Yeah.
We'll give you an update once they put it on their site. They haven't put them up on their site, and I'm sure they'll have a description of every pack it'll work in.
When the container shows up, they'll put it on their site.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that stuff's going on there
Sure.
until like December or something
Absolutely.
like that. So we got to
Probably won't ship till whenever you get your Bronco.
2025. You might get it. So, well, cool stuff, man. Well, since Dale was on the water, we want to do a fishing report. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do it.
he for
Hang
once.
on, my
you.
trip's calling me from today. They forgot something.
All right,
Hold that thought.
we're gonna hold that thought there for a minute.
Do the
I'll-
do the park fishing.
I'll do that there. So we'll get we'll get a little bit of water running there for Mr. Randy.
That's it.
There you go, Randy.
Hope nobody has to stop at the battle.
You know what happens when you're fishing? When you find that reel, you do that. So fall is starting to show up. It's starting to show its head a little bit. We've actually had some temperatures down in the 30s, folks. With that being said, water temperatures have taken a pretty good swing south on us.
Yeah.
And so I noticed some stuff on the temperature gauges around off the USGS sites. We had some stuff in the 40s and the lower 50s. The other thing that's happening is the leaves are starting to come down at a pretty good clip. You expect to catch a lot of leaves. It's just that
It's
time of
crazy
year.
how them
folks.
things
They just
hit
like
hooks like fish.
they just show up, man, and they feel just like a fish. And you should set the hook as if it is a fish. You really need to do that. Strange thing, it's not strange, but yesterday morning, as cold as it was yesterday morning, Man, I seen the grasshoppers like the thing's like 2 inches long, man. So the terrestrial thing is actually still in play. Still on.
Well, it was 75 daggone degrees today out there.
So you're getting those swings, colder mornings. You're getting a little bit warmer afternoon. So dress in layers. I would be wearing waders.
Yeah,
it's kind of almost time to get out of the wet wading game for sure.
That time of year to bring an extra set of clothes with you too, if you don't
just in
live
case.
close by.
Absolutely, you want to do that hypothermia type stuff. But yeah, so it's interesting. I told someone today. Typically, this time of year, the box lid is starting to we're starting to close it. We can get really dialed in a small thing. Now the box is still kind of open because there's still a lot of things.
Is this like the lock box?
No, I mean it's
the 2000 debate. Al Gore. But what are you talking about? The box
dangling chads. Well, it was just anyway. I mean, the fly box is really open with a lot of choices.
Really poetic into
this where some cases we're closing some box lids and we're going to specific things. Dry fly game.
Thing in a box.
Yesterday thing.
We need to bring that back.
Yeah. You just thought of SNL. Sorry.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, my bad.
All right, keep your train of thought. Keep your train
Sitting
of thought.
on the basketball rim. But anyway, dry fly bite. You have to keep this in mind. Blue wing olives are showing up. As the sun hits the water, the midges are coming off as well. So fish are coming up and sipping those guys, eating that. Caddis, tan, orange are still in play. Talking to Tim DeMuth over in Tennessee this past weekend, they were actually doing well on yellow flies still on the Tennessee side of the park. They actually said they did better on that than they did orange. So depending
Man,
on
you
where
think people from Tennessee would be like, orange is the way to go, guys, all the time.
Orange.
Orange.
Orange
It was light orange. It wasn't yellow.
Orange and golf balls was kind of the thing.
It's pale orange.
Was definitely in play. Subsurface patterns. Basing pheasant tails often get overlooked, but they're really productive. Pheasant tails, hares, ear, print snips, any of your rubber leg stonefly patterns are there. Just be cautious. Make sure you got a great drift. You're camouflaged up, stealthy, and give yourself an opportunity because in a lot of cases you are prospecting.
Yeah.
You don't expect to come here and cast a rising fish all around you because that's not the case. If you get off the path somewhere, the Smokies is the most visited national park in the United States.
What stream would you fish if you didn't want to be beside a road, Shannon?
Well, there's a lot of options when it comes to that. There's places on Straight Fork I could do that in.
Yeah.
Bradley Fork, for sure. There's places up in the valley.
Nolan Creek's probably doing really good there.
Nolan, things like that. But, we have to understand that you may encounter somebody on the stream or
Messer
something
Branch
like
is
that.
fire.
Yeah, man, it is always lit, no doubt. So how is tell us. So I talked to Jarrett. Man, Jarrett's pretty
It
stoked
fished
there.
good today,
He
but
pretty
it
stoked,
got
man.
technical.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, after there was one fly shop that had like 8 or 9 boats out there. So once they got out of the way,
through.
Yeah, so I was still in Webster at 3:00.
Wow.
So it was a pretty slow descent, but the fishing got really good because there weren't 200 waders, and well, it was hard wading anyway. But there were still trips that were wading that shouldn't have been. If you get my drift,
I look at the board. Yeah, I do.
But they it fished really well, but it got technical. So 18 pheasant tails.
Yeah,
on the 6X, and that was Preston was having that. The freshwater prince was lights out though.
Yeah.
So it's like they're eating the little dainty stuff, and if they're not eating that, they're eating a massive number 10 freshwater prince, fastwater prince. So that was good. The streamer bite was good early. Olive was better than black.
Okay.
But then it turned off. But the wet fly game was on.
Yeah.
We got to do this today. I had never been able to do it because no clients have ever been willing to do it that had the setup. But 7-weight with a 200 grain full sink line.
Oh, nice.
Swinging wet flies.
That's awesome.
So, and he caught one on like the first drift.
Perfect.
I was like, yes, it works. They had a good laugh at that.
That's awesome, man.
So
it's not JV, man.
But no, I got that tip from Mac Brown, and we've spent a lot of time in Bryson City talking about that technique and swinging wets. Not enough people try it. I mean, you don't need a sink line to do it. It's just that's another interesting way to do it.
A little Versaleader we sell would work.
Versaleader, that's what I'm going to use tomorrow. So
put a piece of split shot about a foot to 18 inches up the line.
Yeah,
it'll do good too.
Yep. So it was fun. It was a good day out there. Gene she was really excited to learn how to Euro-nymph. So
nice.
we picked up
Okay.
good fish on Euro-nymphing. So water
Perfect.
clarity for 740 was pretty good today.
Good.
I thought best blueing olive hatch I've ever seen out there.
I was going to ask you next. What kind of hatches did you see? Because we know that the tailwater, the Tuckasegee, has more of that going on than your wild streams.
So the bluing olive hatch was interesting. It started out like 16.
Okay.
And then like 40 minutes later, it was like 28s.
Yeah. Okay.
So the big ones came first and then the little ones. But nothing was rising to them. But I did tie on a little like bluing olive nymph, Beta's nymph. And
do like a bars or merger. Those are great choices out there, man.
Absolutely.
And I tell you something else too. An unweighted little split case.
Yep.
When those are going off too, can be a good one for you.
But then high sun, wasn't much happening. There was some sporadic caddis going on. But then this evening, just now, the last 45 minutes to an hour of the float, the light Cahills and sulfurs.
Nice.
So it was
perfect.
Big too. They were big.
Yeah, nice.
But the fish weren't necessarily responding to that. But if you had a good presentation, they'd certainly come. We did toss some dry flies, nothing happened. But but they were responding to the nymphs of those dry flies coming off. So those fish are getting smarter quick.
Yeah.
I was surprised at that. So it was interesting. But it was a good day. Yeah, I mean, good numbers.
Perfect.
You know, it was good. Yeah, I think Preston was kind of floating my pace today, and saw those guys hooked up a lot. And Jarrett texted he found a pile of fish somewhere.
Yeah,
so.
Jarrett was pretty happy. And he was just had a half day. And
he did.
Yeah, so his streamer
that was
thing,
a long
I think
half day for him.
I think he hit it pretty good.
Yeah,
like you said, as it changes. And the one thing I throw out there, and the fishing report brought to you by Norvas, time better flies faster. I'm sorry about that, but
I threw it up at the beginning.
But trust your guide. If the guide makes a recommendation, hey, we need to go here. Trust your guide.
Oh yeah.
If
the guide says sit down, we're going to go over this little riffle.
Sit down.
You might want to sit down.
Yeah, but these are the folks that do this quite a bit. They got things dialed in, or they have a pretty good reasoning for wanting to go here. So allow them to make that decision as best of their ability, and we know that our guys are going to do that. They're going to do their best.
Preston and Jarrett, when they're not in school or working, they're fishing.
Yeah, they fish a lot.
Yeah,
gosh, man.
Yeah, so make sure you do that, man. Just want to say that there. I think that often gets overlooked.
Yeah,
when you book a trip, man, put any guides.
Yeah,
let them say, hey, let's rock and roll.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Well, good deal, boys. Good show.
Sorry I was late.
No. It was very, very technical there, going through all the specs, but I'm glad that we got to finally get another pack video out there. I think the last one we need to do is probably vests.
We got to do the vest and
backpacks.
We didn't do backpacks. So the backpack, we did the video on the fish pond fire hole backpack, but I definitely got to get one up with attaching the new fish pond vest, and once we go into the vest, you'll understand why. It's a pretty neat concept for sure. So once again, fish pond being an industry leader, and of course Horvis as well when it comes to that stuff.
Hey, did we talk some football yet?
Yeah, too late. You missed it all.
Yeah.
Hey, this is tied to the fishing report. The color golf balls tossed inside Neyland Stadium is Tennessee Volunteer orange. Just to confirm, I don't know if that ball came from putt or what, but Lane Kiffin,
Top golf,
buddy. Them people letting him know. Did you already talk about Lane Kiffin?
No.
Man, I tell you, those fans reminded him real quick. They don't forget.
Yeah.
That was unreal.
Well, I didn't see it. I just saw a thing
I just
written
read
about it
and,
briefly, but unfortunate.
I mean, it's poor. It's
poor.
poor.
It's terrible sportsmanship.
It's poor. It's no different than them up there and up north during the pro football season. Back in the day, they would be at the stadium
throwing snowballs at Santa.
But they were ice.
Yes.
They were
ice
those.
That's bad
those
stuff.
was not good. So it's not the first time something like that's happened.
I told you about that. I think I told you about going to the state championship. It was in Chapel Hill. This was years ago, and it snowed so hard. They had to, every time the offense got the ball, they had to flip the field because they'd pushed all the snow into one end zone.
Oh, wow.
And they, for some reason, they had the team, the crowd on the same side.
Oh,
I guess they didn't want to clean the stands on the other side.
Oh.
So they had it separated by a section. And they were calling Richmond, I think, was calling them hillbillies, and they were calling Richmond rednecks and stuff. But finally at one point, ice and snow started slinging.
Oh boy,
back and forth. Yeah, it got pretty nasty.
pretty bad and nasty.
I mean, it's unreal. Yeah. I would never dream of throwing something on a field. I mean,
it's no different than somebody chunking a water bottle or stuff like that.
Did you see him catch that bottle that got tossed at him?
No, I hadn't seen anything. I just saw briefly there was a headline. That's it. I don't know the details, and I don't want to speak on that behalf, but
it'd have been better if he'd have just taken a swig out of it too.
Or just like, well, I mean, who knows what was in it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to do that.
He called that thing like a champ. I will give him credit for that. I mean, the guy must know some football to have the jobs he's bounced around, and he obviously coached under Saban for a while. But I mean, what he did to Tennessee was just wrong.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
So
that was a long time ago.
It was.
It was pretty bad.
They had to smuggle him out of the building he was in when all that broke, when that news story broke.
But he got the W.
He did.
This team got the W.
If that quarterback stays healthy, that don't happen. Yeah. That was unfortunate.
Yeah. But
I just needed to clear my chest.
Yeah, we talked a little bit of pro stuff there. How about them Cowboys?
Panthers are going to lose for the next 9 weeks.
Yeah, because McCaffrey's out for another 8.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
they got to figure out a way to win without him.
So much of his offense runs through him.
Hey, man, Washington's just got to figure out how to win.
Yeah. It's like Madden. The team that scores the most points will win the game.
30 years of misery. That's all we've had.
I know. So. That's where I'm like, I have to kind of
bring back Rippin.
He might do better, man.
He might. Mark Rippin.
Hey, did y'all see that meme of is it back to the Lane Kiffin thing? It was Lane Kiffin holding that orange ball and Peyton Manning in a golf follow through.
Oh no.
That's pretty funny.
That's
sorry.
I got to tell you though. Speaking of Peyton Manning, I'm missing Manning and Manning.
Are they not doing it anymore?
They're off for so many weeks, man.
I do enjoy it.
Let me tell you something. It's not the same watching it. I watched it that one time.
You can tell
this is perfect.
You can tell Peyton is not interested in interviewing these people. He
No.
just wants to be calling the plays.
Dude, he is just. But he's some of the stuff he says.
Yeah.
And then Eli, with his sign language.
That's the show I was watching.
Did he?
That's the show I was watching that it came out that the NFC East is or North or whatever it is.
Was the only team.
Super Bowls. Everybody's winning Super Bowl.
That's right. Sure was.
Cite my source.
It was.
There you go.
Thank you to all the folks who've actually subscribed. Their numbers are going up. That push for 1,000, folks. Let's keep at it. Be sure to share and
do it.
And let us know what y'all think about these packs.
Yeah,
it's good to hear. Good intel
sweet.
for sure. Well, good deal.
Right.
I think it's been another good show here. It's time to get out of here, and we look forward to catching you folks on the next podcast, whenever that is around the corner. So be on the lookout
on the next episode.
That wraps up another exciting and informative episode of the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon, presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service, located at 3 Depot Street, Bryson City, North Carolina, and 530 West Main Street, Sylvan, North Carolina, and Waynesville. Be sure to visit www.tuckflyshop.com for streamflow information, book a guided trip, or even shop for your favorite Tuckasegee Fly Shop gear. Follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and on YouTube at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. If you have a question or comment, feel free to send those to info@tuckflyshop.com or give us a call, 1-828-488-3333. For Coach Dale Diesel Collins, Bobby the Bearded Wonder Bennett, I'm Shannon, Big Mess Messer. We'll catch you next week. Be sure to catch a few fish out there, won't you? Y'all take care.